When COVID-19 first came on the scene, I had actually a lot of fears and a lot of anxiety. And initially, a lot of the concerns were around older people who were more at risk. So I immediately had fears, anxiety about my parents, especially my dad. My dad's really high risk.
I'm vaccinated. I'm still ultra cautious, 2 masks, social distance. I don't go out. I don't go to restaurants. But that's in the interest of public safety. I've had 5 bypasses in my heart 2 years ago. Coagulation issues because COVID causes your blood vessels to react strangely. Terrified each day, like, if I get it, I don't think I'm going to make it.
In the very beginning, a lot of people were scared. And so we saw a significant decline as far as like people calling 911. And I think that was bad in a way because people were scared to go to the ER, but they know that they needed help, but then they were waiting like almost too long.
I am in recovery for serious mental illness myself. I am more vulnerable to uncertainty and anxiety due to not knowing. I have been terrified of mutations. From the very beginning, when I heard of the option to, mass expose and achieve herd immunity that way, that caused me nightmares. The idea that this vaccine isn't going to be enough, that's what keeps me up at night.
Losing my father in January, that was my worst fear, for the elderly people in our family.
The worst fears for me is I contract it and don't make it, and I'll leave wife and child behind. That's my worst nightmare.
My husband is a teacher and was exposed by students who refused to wear masks, and the result was that he got sick. And I thought that was the worst of it until last week. I thought maybe we were gonna come out the other side, and we lost a cousin to coronavirus, and that was my biggest fear, and it was realized.
Emotions are a lot right now to deal with, because it's so hard to deal with this. We never would have thought this would ever happen before. We weren't prepared, and we didn't know how we were going to feel about it. And sometimes just like, I'm stuck. I have 10 assignments that are missing, and everything's due in 2 weeks, and I have no clue what to do. I'm stuck.
I think teenagers feel more anxiety now. They no longer have their face-to-face peer interactions. They no longer have their safe places to go. They no longer have teachers or counselors or their support systems or outreach to. More so it's just the therapist, and it's virtual, which makes it, super stressful. A lot of teenagers have lost people because of COVID, and that's brought about a lot of challenges for them to function.
And everybody keeps calling it, the new normal, but the new normal is kind of, it's comforting for me because, I know what the expectations are, and I know, wear your mask and wash your hands,
One of the things that decreases my anxiety is unplugging. I found that taking time off, not watching the news, multiple hours a day, doing things like listening to music or meditating, they help a lot more